Good day everyone and welcome back to JBSWiki. In today's step-by-step video, I will show you how to use Copilot in SQL Server Management Studio to identify and solve performance issues, all without having to write complex SQL tuning queries yourself. Copilot will guide us through understanding what's wrong and help us improve the performance quickly and effectively. If that sounds helpful, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss future content on SQL, Azure and real-world data solutions. Let's jump in and fix that slow stored procedure together, step by step. I'm right now on Copilot in SSMS. Yep. If you need more details how to configure Copilot in SSMS, I would recommend you to look at my previous video where I detail how to configure Copilot in SSMS step by step. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with uh, some basic questions to Copilot, and then I will see the response, and based on that I will move forward. Yeah, the first question that I'm asking is I'm basically telling it that I'm getting started with SSMS and Copilot, and just want to check how Copilot can help me. Yeah, so now if you look at the response here, it basically tells here's how I can assist you. General assistance like SQL query writing, TSQL syntax guidance, database design, SSMS feature. So what I would suggest is before getting started, if you can look at these things and then try understanding what all it can help, that is going to really help us. Yeah, so the next question I'm going to ask is something specific to our scenario. So what I want to know is I just want to improve my SQL Server performance overall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to concentrate on queries that are resource intensive, and then see if Copilot can help me in tuning those queries. Yeah. So what I'm going to do right now, you see that Copilot in SSMS. Now what I want is I want the context to be changed to this particular query window. Yeah, it is SQL query 1.SQL, and right now I am in SQL query 1.SQL in Copilot. So what I'll do is I will check for the top 3 longest running queries based on total duration from the query store for database JB employees, and I just wanted to look at for the last 24 hours. Yeah, let's wait for the response, and then we'll take it from there. So it's currently checking the information. Let's give it another 10 seconds and then see what happens. Okay, so it was trying to get the details. There seems it had an issue with the TSQ that it was using, so it auto corrected and then gave us the query here. So if you see here, what I'm able to infer is this particular query, sp underscore find JB company name, seems to be using lot of execution time. Yeah, so it's yeah, it's several billions here. Yeah, so query ID is 425. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tune this particular query. Yeah, so before that what I'll do is I will check for the active sessions on this particular database instance. Let's see if something is executing on the SQL server. It's a normal thing that any DBA can do, for any issues or for just to check for the general database health. What we do is we look for any active sessions, and no need for us to do all the existing queries to copy it and then run it. Instead, we can ask the Copilot what are the queries that are running right now, and then you will get that information. So what I'm seeing in my case, I just have 3 sessions active. Yeah, and at least that information kind of help you, and it is in your fingertip. Just you need to give the instruction and get that done. Yeah, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to check more details on this particular stored procedure. So in this previous response, we understood that this is a stored procedure that took much resources. So what I'm basically doing is like I'm basically asking since this stored procedure has taken a lot of resources, I'm asking Copilot, how do I check the execution plan? Yeah. Now let's say we don't have much performance tuning expertise, then what we can do is like we can give instructions to SSMS Copilot and then check like how do we do certain things, and it can effectively give you the answers. Yeah. So now if you look at the response, it basically tells enable the execution plan in SSMS, and it's asking us to execute that particular query. Yeah, so that is something that I'm not going to do right now. Yeah, but if you see other instruction, we can see that it is asking us to use the query store. Yeah, let's look at the query store. Let's go to the database here and then check this top resource consuming queries. Yeah, we are able to see several queries here. Now, what I'm going to do is like I'm going to use the grid mode and then look at the queries here. And if you see here, the stored procedure that we are discussing, SP underscore find JB company name, tops the list. Yeah. And what I'm seeing here is like for this particular stored procedure, we have close to two plans here, right? So we are able to see two plans. So now what I'm going to check with Copilot is like I'm going to ask it to compare these two plans here. Yeah, so I just want these two plans to be compared. Yeah, plan ID 1 and plan ID 2, and then let me know the difference. Okay, while we wait for the response from Copilot, what I'm going to do is like I'm going to manually compare these plans and then see if whatever response that we are going to get from Copilot looks good. Yeah, so right now I have saved this plan. So let's go to the plan ID 2 and then let's do a compare plan here. And if you see here, plan 2 has a key lookup. Yep. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to close this. And then if you see here, plan ID 2 has a index scan followed by a key lookup. And plan ID 1 has got a cluster index scan. Yeah. And also like if you see here, there is a warning symbol, which we will look at it based on the response that we get from Copilot. So we have the response from Copilot. Let's have a look on that. Yeah. So what I'm seeing is like as far as the average duration is concerned, plan ID is faster by 500,000 milliseconds. Yeah, and as far as the average logical I/O is concerned, plan ID 2 is significantly higher logical I/O. So here for the average duration, plan ID 2 is better, and for average logical I/O, plan ID 1 is better. Yeah. And there are no physical IOs for both plants. Yeah, and the execution count is like kind of same. Yeah, so what I'm seeing is like we have this one query which has got two plants, and what is happening is like the execution counts are similar, and also like if you look at it, like basically plan ID 2 is like good in terms of average duration, and plan ID 1 is better as far as the logical I/O is concerned. And let's look at the observation here. So observation, it basically tells like plan ID 2 has a lower average duration, which we understood from here, and also like it basically tells like plan ID 2 has got more logical I/O. Yeah, and as far as the recommendation, it is basically telling plan ID 2 is faster, but may cause higher resource usage, and it is basically telling like to look at the inefficiencies and then design, and also like if it is the higher logical I/O is acceptable, it is asking us to force it. Yeah, but now what I'm going to ask it further is like now that we have the execution plan open here, I'm just going to ask it like, how do I look at the execution plan and understand what is going on? Yeah, it first tells like look at the expensive operators. In our case, we know that the expensive operator in each of these cases like an index scan here and then a cluster index scan here. Yeah, so this is what we are seeing. And in terms of the second recommendation, it is basically telling like look for any warnings. Yeah, it is basically telling check for yellow warning icon, and it tells like check if there are any spills to TMDB, implicit conversion, or any missing indexes. In our case, what I'm seeing is like there is a warning, and if you see here, the warning is basically convert implicit. Yeah, so the second information that we have see here is like the implicit conversion, which is same as what we are seeing here. So now what I'm going to ask Copilot is like I now see a warning as far as the implicit conversion is concerned. Yeah, so I'm going to ask it more details on that implicit conversion. Okay, so it is basically telling that the warning convert implicit indicates that SQL Server is performing an implicit conversion on the company name column in JB company table, and this can lead to performance issue. Okay, that's fine. So now let's see like how to fix that. Yeah, so it is basically telling check the data type of value being compared to company name in the query. So we know that the table is JB company. So now what we will do is like let's click on a new query window, and then let's look at what we have as far as the JB company table is concerned. Now, let's look at the company name, and company name is a varchar 255. Okay, and it is basically telling like if the value is a literal or parameter, ensure it is explicitly cast to varchar to match. So now what I'm going to do is like I'm going to get that stored procedure. Yeah, and then what we'll do is like we will compare that. Let's close this, and then I will take this stored procedure name, and then let's look at the definition of this particular stored procedure. Yeah, so this is the definition here. So now if you look at it, what we are basically doing here is like this particular stored procedure, we are selecting these columns from table JB company, and the predicate is company name, and this predicate is basically being compared with this variable name. And then let's look at the data type of this variable, and it is n varchar. Yeah, but if you look at this table has got a data type for the company name as varchar. So that seems to be the problem. Whatever the Copilot has recommended, the Copilot has basically told us to check that. Yeah. So now what we'll do is like let's try changing this to varchar, and then follow the response that Copilot has given us, and then see if it is going to help us. Okay, so I will create it as a new stored procedure, and then let's create it. It's created now. So now what I'll do is like I will try executing this, and I will execute it with a parameter of this one, and then let's enable the execution plan, and then run that, and then let's wait for it to complete, and then let's look at the execution plan. So if you see here, we still have the cluster index scan, but what I'm seeing is like we are no longer seeing the warning. So whatever response we got from Copilot, that actually helped us. Okay, and if we look at this, the recommendation that was basically given to us, so it basically speaks about the warnings, and then it speaks about scans and seeks that we will be looking at. So right now we are doing a cluster index scan, and we have a missing index recommendation, so we can try that, and that can convert this to an index seek. So let's see what else we have. So it talks about join types. We don't have any join, so we can skip that. And it talks about parallelism. We don't have any parallelism here. And one more thing to check is like what we'll do is like let's we know that we have two plants, right? So what I will do is like I will first recompile this particular uh, stored procedure, And then what I'll do is like, I will use another parameter, and then let's look at the execution plan for that. Yeah, it completes fast. And now if you see here, we are seeing an index seek, but there is a key lookup. Yeah, so we have a recommendation to look at the key lookup also. So that is something that we need to look at. So what we'll do now, we will look at this missing index recommendation. So the eighth recommendation from Copilot is related to missing index recommendation. So what we'll do is like, let's try creating this missing index. Yeah, let's copy it, and then let's try creating it. Yeah, and then see what is going to happen. So it is always better to check existing indexes, and then we need to ensure like we are able to accommodate the existing indexes. Yeah, and in my case it's a demo, so I'm just going ahead and creating this index. Okay, so I have let's wait for this index to get created, and then we will take it from there. Okay, so the index is created now. So now what I'm going to do is like, I'm going to execute this query. And if I run this query and look at the execution plan, I no longer see a cluster index scan. Instead, I'm seeing index seek, and again there is no warnings at all. Yeah. Now let me recompile this particular query, and then try executing this query now with a different parameter. Yeah, and it's completed. And now if you see, there are three things that we have resolved. Okay, first one is like we removed the warnings. Second one is like we had inefficient cluster index scan, and then an index seek followed by a key lookup for the second plant, and we have changed that into an index seek. And third one is like previously we had two plants for this particular query, and after following the response from Copilot, what we are seeing is like right now we just have only one plant. Yeah, this way we kind of completed the health check on this particular instance. We looked at the costly query, and just following the response from Copilot, we were able to successfully tune that query, and now the query is performing much better when compared to its previous run. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Jai Hind.